Now, this is the thing that it seems like almost though with the internet, because we have these networks, these social networks like Facebook and whatever, that we're almost, and Xbox Live, which is incredible. I was playing with my cousin the other day. He's in New Jersey and I was in Vermont. Talking to him,
playing a video game, talking shit.
Yeah, like hanging out pretty
much. Crazy.
But it's like you're alone together, you know?
Yes.
And that's kind of weird. It's like, there's almost like people are becoming less social in a way, because it feels like, in some extent, like some people, there's like more social quirks almost.
Well, it's definitely that's a pitfall. It's definitely something you fall into. I used to be in a Quake clan.
Yeah.
You know, Quake the game.
Yeah.
I used to play Quake like 8 hours a day. I had a fucking serious addiction. It was bad, man. And it was basically the same thing. You would get online and you'd be alone, but you would link up with all your friends that were online, and there'd be like a dude in Texas, another guy in North Carolina, another guy in Oklahoma, and we'd all be playing together in the same server, in the same room, fighting each other. And chatting, and every now and then we'd talk on the phone. It was fun. It was interesting, but it was, it is like that World of Warcraft thing. Like, people get addicted, and then they just get lost in it. And they're fucked. It's like, you heard about that couple in Korea? They had a 2-year-old daughter, and the daughter starved to death or it wasn't even 2, I don't think. It was the baby. The baby starved to death while they were nourishing their fake baby on this
oh my God.
social networking.
Like The Sims?
Yeah, it's like, Second Life or something like that, whatever.
My life's going down 50 points.
I mean, people just get crazy. I watched there was a show about people that were addicted to World of Warcraft and or EverQuest, one of those. And while on the show, these people had kids, and the kids they didn't want to pay attention to their kids. They just wanted to play World of Warcraft. It was fucking nuts. Like, the husband would be on, the wife would be complaining because she had to take care of the kids. Like, I want to play. You watch the kids. Like Jesus Christ. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not really a barbarian. That's a fake sword. And you're fucking crazy. Like,
I mean, it's almost kind of like the same thing. Like drug. Some people use drugs for an escape. From the reality. And it's like, video games are a legitimate escape, because you don't have to eat a lot of drugs to get that like completely break through or whatever. You can just be in another world. Like, even like you're talking about Quake. Like, I used to play SOCOM when I was like 13, and like you get really into it. And you're like, you're with your online buddies or whatever, and you're talking, and you see like there's almost like you're not here, like in reality, you're like in there, and it's like a trick. It's like you get like a little high from it almost. It's kind of.
It's like the real those like EverQuest and World of Warcraft things. You become like way more powerful in those games than you ever could in real life. Like, I have a friend who got addicted to EverQuest, and he said this to me. He used to play like 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. He was a manager at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, and like lost everything. His life went into a downward spiral. And he actually said this. He goes, "I'm so good at making money in my online world, and so bad at it in the real world." I was like, what? Like,
he needs to dedicate a little bit more time to the actual.
And EverQuest, he had like this crazy character that was, fucking. I didn't ever play EverQuest, but apparently when you get super powerful, like, you basically just run shit on EverQuest, and that becomes more intoxicating. And the more time you play, and the more value you accumulate in the game, the more you can get done. Like, people can't fuck with you. You can like dominate people and take over shit, and you're a wizard, and you have magic spells, and he just got so lost in that. Whereas in his real world, I think he felt like powerless, and it didn't feel like there was like a real clear linear path for him progressing. There is, you could do the same thing. You could treat the regular world like a video game, and approach it the same way. But in the regular world, there's all these emotional things, and there's all this weird shit that happens, and social shit, and not being able to interact with people, and being uncomfortable and nervous and insecure, and all that stuff doesn't exist online.
And you think kind of that like, I guess, inclination by like our culture to kind of go towards the achieving achievements in video games has to kind of do with how quickly we get stuff now, that our attention spans have like gone down the drain. We need instant gratification. So like a video game is quicker to become awesome at, but in life it takes like time.
I always wonder, like, when I see trends like that with like lowering attention spans, and that definitely is a trend. I always wonder if there's a purpose for that. And I wonder if there's a purpose for people being impatient. I wonder if there's and I wonder if maybe that purpose is that it fuels innovation and it fuels people to keep searching for the bigger, better, faster, quicker thing. And in turn, this desire to like get things instantly now, it makes things become like, it makes innovation happen quicker. It makes improvements to like technology and things happen quicker because there's this intense demand for it.
Yeah.
I always wonder if all that stuff is natural. Like I have this crazy theory about life in general, human beings in general. Like, you know, people always look at the world and say like, you know, wow, look at the way we're living, like this is fucked up, we're ruining the planet and this global warming and our addiction to fossil fuels, and nobody ever looks at human nature as if, human life, as if everything we do is natural. You know, we look at all these other animals, like bees, and we see bees building beehives. We never question why they build the beehives. We just say, well, that's what bees do. And then we see alpha male wolves force the beta wolf out into the, you know, the wild by himself, and it's a cruel thing. But we say, well, but it's necessary because, you know, being a wolf is hard as fuck, and you need strong genes, and so the weak ones have to die. Yeah. But we never apply that same kind of thinking towards human behavior. We somehow or another think that humans have much more control over their destiny than all these other animals, and that our behavior is not natural, or it's because we're conscious, we control it. Yeah. And I'm not totally sure about that, man. I think it might just be so much more abstract and complex that we can't really wrap our heads around it, but that in the end, everything we do might just be natural. And this, you know, this short attention span shit, and our addiction to social networking, and our addiction to all these online networking games and stuff like that, you know, these role-playing games, I think all that stuff might be natural, and all that stuff might just be building us towards some new technological innovation, and that we're fueling it. And I think that's like what people have this obsession with material possessions, and you know, in this capitalist society, everybody's like, it's a sickness. You know, people are addicted to material possessions, and it ruins your life because you're chasing after nonsense. We really should be concentrating on friendships and love and all that stuff. But I think it might be that the reason why we're pushing towards this, and the reason why we are obsessed with material possessions, and I think that what that does is, when you're keeping up with the Joneses all the time, and you're constantly buying the newest, better, best shit, what you're doing is you're fueling innovation. Yeah. Because these companies have to keep up with your demand, and they have to keep creating new things. I have the feeling that all this stuff might be natural. It just might be super complex and really hard for us to wrap our heads around.